Aloha and welcome to Breath and Flow Yoga. My name is Katie and today is a 45-minute practice focused mostly on beginner yoga poses. However, this is suitable for all levels, but particularly those who might just be starting out in their yoga practice or just feel like they kind of want to start somewhere and aren't really sure where to go. Here's a great place. Today, I will be using blocks throughout class. But you don't have to have actual blocks. If you have maybe a textbook or 2 Amazon boxes lying around, or even just one, whatever you can find around your house will work as well. And it's really just to allow us to bring the earth closer to us so that the poses are more accessible and actually feel a little bit better in the body. If you have nothing, no blocks, no props whatsoever, that's fine too. You can still do this practice. So take a moment, find some props, if you do, grab those, and then also grab a pillow while you're at it, something that you can sit on that's comfortable, because we will be working on our yogic breath, how to breathe in our yoga class. So go ahead and grab a pillow or a chair, anything that's comfortable to come into a nice, easy seated position, somewhat like I am here. All right. So get comfortable and let's begin this practice. Sit down on your pillow, blanket, or even your block, or just your mat. Allow yourself to cross your legs in a way that is comfortable for you. Close your eyes and just begin to align your spine here. So just trust the sound of my voice, trust my instruction. And with your eyes closed, just begin to feel down in towards your seat. So maybe you just kind of wiggle side to side into your sits bones. And just feel that nice groundedness underneath your hips. We'll start at our base with aligning the spine. So press down in towards your seat. Take a slight tuck with your tailbone. So it's a motion as if you're pulling your lower belly up and in. And then take your mind's eye a little bit higher up the spine towards your rib cage, where you knit your rib cage in. And then take that visualization a little bit higher up towards your heart center. Here you're lifting up through your heart, but without jutting your rib cage out. And then take your mind's eye a little bit higher towards your shoulders. So here we tend to hold a lot of tension. Let's just wiggle that out. Let our shoulders shrug up towards our ears and open down the back. Just take some nice big circular motions with your shoulders, loosening them up. Really just allow your shoulders to open. And on that last big circular motion, let your shoulders roll down and away from your ears. Press your heart forward. And same thing, let's come up through the cervical vertebrae now. And a lot of times we do hold a lot of tension in the head and neck. So let's work that out a little bit here. Drop one ear towards one shoulder, side to side. So opposite ear, opposite shoulder. Keep your shoulders pressing down as you let your head just roll side to side. And then we'll come back up through center and tuck our chin towards our chest and lift our chin towards the sky. Tuck in and lift. One more time, tuck your chin. And lift your head high, lift your chin to the sky, drop your head back. Good, and come back through center. Feel the crown of your head extend towards the sky. So imagine that you're reaching up through the crown of your head at the same time as pressing down in towards your hips. Good, feel alive through the spine. Okay, so now that we're aligned physically, let's come into our breath, the most important part of our yoga practice. So take your right hand and place it on your low belly, right about where the navel is. We're going to take 3 breaths in through the nose and exhale them audibly out through the mouth. So as you inhale in through your nose, let your belly expand. full belly. Good. Exhale out through the mouth, sigh it out. 2 more times like that. Inhale, deep in through the nose, press your belly in towards your hand, really fill it up like a balloon. Exhale out through the mouth. 1 more time. Inhale in through the nose, belly expands, big breath in. Exhale, release. Good. You can keep your hand on your belly, but now we're going to breathe in and out through the nose and the nose only. So same thing with your inhale breath in. Let that breath travel to the base of your belly. Let your belly fill up like a balloon. Exhale out through the nose, controlled and smooth as it came in. Nice job. Let's do that a few more times. In through the nose, fill your belly, let it expand, fill it up. Exhale, release through the nose, let it go. So you should feel your belly with your inhale open up as if a water balloon is filling. And as you exhale, you should feel it smoothly release. Not exploding that water balloon, but just letting it go smoothly out. Good. Big breath in through the nose. Fill your belly. Big breath out through the nose. Let your belly retract back towards your spine. Now you can continue your breath with your hand on your belly, or you can place your palm back down on your thigh and continue to breathe in and out through the nose, and the nose only. Fill your belly with each breath in, and release your belly with every exhale out. Good. Now let's inhale breath to the count of 5. Big inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue that breath about 5 seconds long on both the inhale and the exhale, creating equal breath, creating equanimity in the body, creating calmness through the mind. Continue this practice of breathing. If your legs need to change direction or anything like that, always feel free to move those legs while you're breathing. That's okay. Continue to breathe here. A few more rounds of breath. Allowing ourselves to come into this practice of yoga, to clear the mind, calm the body, get out of our normal fight or flight or stress mode and bring it into this rest and digest, relax. I'm ready to learn and practice yoga together. 2 more breaths here. Stay with it. Exhale it out. 1 more. Big breath in. And big breath out. Nice job. So now we're going to begin to move. Reach your arms up towards the sky. You can flutter those eyelids open as you look up between your fingertips. And as you exhale, take your right arm down by your side, maybe onto your right hip. Reach over to the right. Roll your left shoulder back. Good. Inhale back through center. Reach your arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, left hand down to your hip or the earth. Reach over to the left. Roll your right shoulder back. Keep your hips down. Good. Inhale back through center. Now as you exhale, let's just take our hands down behind us. And we're going to shift off of our pillow or blanket or whatever else that you brought to your mat today to comfortably sit. We're just going to press that to the side. You won't be needing that now. And we're going to come into child's pose. So child's pose, big toes touch, knees open out as wide as you would like. And then we stretch our arms out forward, out in front of us, and let your chest just drop naturally down towards the earth. Relax your head and neck. So in our child's pose, this is our home base. Any class that you take with me or any other teacher, they will often invite you to take this posture at any point during their class to allow yourself to check back in. Or maybe if there's a pose or a sequence that's not quite right for you and you want to take a break, you can always come here. Close your eyes, continue to breathe in and out through the nose. Now on your next inhale, begin to shift forward onto hands and knees. Come into your tabletop position. So in tabletop, shoulders are right over the wrists, hips over the knees. Gaze down between your thumbs, spread your fingers wide. Reach through the crown of your head. We're going to move through cat-cow breathing. Inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high. Press your heart forward, lift through your chin, look up. And as you exhale for cow pose or cat pose, press down through your palms, tuck your chin, look between your thighs, arch through your spine. Inhale back into cow, shoulders back, tailbone high, look up to the sky. Exhale, cat pose. So arch like a Halloween cat, press through your palms, puff up through your upper back. Good. Inhale, breath. Open the shoulders back, tailbone high, cow pose. Notice we're moving, breath to movement. Exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin. Always move with your breath. One more time. Inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high, cow pose. Look up to the sky. Exhale, breath, curl back up and in, tuck your chin, arch through your spine. Nice job. Let's come back through a neutral spine. Gaze down between your thumbs. Take an inhale. Reach your right arm high to the sky. So you're rolling your right shoulder back. Stack your shoulders, but press your hips back evenly. Just feel that nice stretch through your side waist. Now as you exhale, let's just come right back into tabletop. Opposite side. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Roll your left shoulder back. Stack those shoulders. Press your hips back evenly. Look up to your left thumb. Feel that big expansion through the chest. Exhale, left hand down. Switch back to the right side. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. This time as you exhale, we're going to thread our right arm underneath behind our left wrist. Let your right shoulder lower down towards the mat. Relax your head and neck. So press your hips back evenly behind you. Good. You should feel a nice stretch through that right shoulder blade, a good twist through your spine. As you take your next inhale, let's reach our right arm back up to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back, open out. And then exhale, thread that left arm underneath. Let your left shoulder lower down towards the mat. Press your hips back evenly. So my right elbow is deeply bent. Palm is down. Feel that nice stretch through the shoulder blade. Twist through the spine. Good. Now as you take your next inhale, let's reach that left arm back up to the sky. Roll your left shoulder back, look up. And we'll make our way back into tabletop position. Take an inhale, breath in here. And an exhale breath. Walk your hands all the way out in front of you. So this time, hips are above our knees. So it's not like child's pose. This is puppy dog pose. Our hips are lifted. They're right above the knees. Eventually, chin and chest will be on the earth. But right now, maybe your heart is dipping down, your arms are reaching forward, just as long as you feel that nice stretch through the shoulders. Gaze forward out in front of you. And then inhale, let's shift onto those forearms. So just shift your hips forward, slide your knees back. We'll make our way into Sphinx pose. So your forearms are down in a straight line, like a number 11 out in front of you. Spread your fingers wide. Ground through those palms and forearms. Inhale, create some traction through your forearms. Just look straight out in front of you. Feel your shoulders draw down and away. You should feel an engagement in the upper thoracic spine and an opening through the heart. Good. Lower your chest down. Now tense your hands to the outside of your mat. This is a bit more of a free-flowing posture. Allow your shoulders to circle side to side. One at a time, or even both. You can twist, you can stay low. You can come up high, whatever feels right. Circle into those shoulders. And if you do hear any crackles and pops, that's totally normal. You're just working out through those shoulders, circling into the joints. Circular motions are very therapeutic for the joints. Good. So once you feel that you've freed up those shoulders, open up through the upper back. Allow yourself to come back through center. Take your hands right by your rib cage under the shoulders. Point your elbows back, shoulders down and away. Tops of the feet are grounded down, about hips width distance. Press in towards your palms, but lift through your spine. Let your shoulders roll back into a baby cobra. Shoulders back, point your elbows back. So in our baby cobra, our palms are barely pressing down into the mat. So if you lift your hands up off the earth, your spine should stay in the exact spot as it was before. Good, so if you tried that out, you can place those palms gently back down. Tuck your toes behind you. Now press in towards your hands, hips towards your heels. Pause here. Feel a nice opening through those feet. Ground through your hands. Inhale in. Now as you exhale, shift forward and then lift your hips towards the sky into our first downward facing dog. Okay, so in your first downward dog, before we get into the actual posture itself, just let yourself pedal your feet side to side. Bend one knee and then the other. Shake your head out, yes and no. Just let this be nice and gentle through the body. Maybe you sway side to side. Whatever it is that you feel you need to move into to get comfortable or more comfortable in this posture. And take another breath. Just feeling it out through the hands and the feet. And then once you do come into stillness, let's talk about the pose. So look forward, look at your hands. Make sure your hands are shoulders width distance. Spread your fingers wide, ground through those palms. As you press down in towards your hands, lift your hips towards the sky. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Relax your head and neck. Let it just dangle down between your arms. Now it's okay if those heels don't touch the earth. If they're lifted up, that's fine, just as long as you feel that you are pressing energetically down through the backs of the legs and pressing your hips high to the sky, you are in your downward dog. Feet will be hips width distance. Go ahead and take a big breath in. Look to the top of the mat. Exhale. Let's just take some baby steps all the way up. So just one by one, tiptoe all the way up. So here you might need your blocks or props, so go ahead and grab those. You can take your blocks right underneath your face, hands down on those blocks, tented or not. Soften your knees and tuck through your chin. So these blocks are just here to bring the earth closer to us. You can even have them higher up. You can begin to grab opposite elbows if you prefer, to allow the weight of your spine to just hang over your legs. Wherever you are at, relax your head and neck. Bend your knees a lot, so you're bringing length to the low back. Notice how my torso is resting on my thighs. That's where you want to be as much as you can, whether your hands are on blocks or grabbing opposite elbows. Beautiful. Deep breath here. Allow the weight of your spine to lengthen forward. Ground through those feet. Now bend your knees even more. Release your elbows if you went there. Tuck through your chin. And let's begin to unravel the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Come all the way up to standing. Let your shoulders scrunch up to your ears. And then open down your back, heart forward. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And now as you exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, baby back bend. Lift through your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach your arms back up to the sky, mountain pose. Exhale, bend your knees slightly, open your arms out, swan dive forward. Relax your head and neck, fold in. Good. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Fingertips can graze your shins, lengthen your spine, crown of the head extends forward. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. So in high plank, our wrists are right underneath our shoulders. Hips are in line with the shoulders. So you don't want your hips to be lifting up high or dipping down low. You want them right in line with those shoulders. Engage your core, engage your quadriceps. Plant through those palms, puff up through the upper back. Good, so much more than you thought you'd be thinking about in a high plank pose. Deep breath in. Now as you exhale, let's take our knees down, tabletop. Walk your hands forward out in front of you, puppy dog pose. Inhale, Sphinx pose, slide your knees back, pull your heart through, shoulders back. Exhale, lower your heart. Inhale for free flowing cobra. Roll your shoulders side to side. Open it up. Good, and then lower back down through center, hands by your rib cage, point your elbows back, baby cobra. Inhale. And exhale, tuck your toes, hips to heels. Downward facing dog. So lift those hips to the sky, lengthen your legs, hips high. Good, inhale, feel those hips lift up. Now as you exhale, bend your knees, look to the top of your mat and just step all the way up. Maybe you take one big giant step, maybe it's a few baby steps. Whatever it is, make your way up to the top of your mat. Again, you can always have your blocks waiting for you there if you need to support your hands. Keep your feet hips width distance. So that's about 6 to 8 inches apart. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your weight back towards your heels. And then take your hands to heart center. Slight tuck of your tailbone. Bend your knees even more. Bring your shoulders back, heart forward. Good, so if this is okay, we're gonna move into a modified chair pose, Utkatasana. Reach your arms high to the sky. Relax your shoulders down your back. Feel your weight pulling back and towards your heels. So much so that maybe even your toes lift and you give them a wiggle. Good, relax those shoulders, reach your arms high, extend through your fingertips, turn your pinkies in towards one another. That opens through the scapula. I know your legs are saying hello this morning or whatever time of day it is for you. Get a little bit lower in those legs, engage your quadriceps, deep breath in. Nice job. Now as you exhale, take your hands down to blocks or the earth, lift your hips high, relax your head and neck. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, flat spine. And as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. So I'm going to work you through a modified chaturanga. Keep your knees down on the earth, hands under your shoulders. Inhale in. And as you exhale, keep that flatness through the spine. So you want to tuck your tailbone in, engage your core. Lower down through a tricep push-up. So those elbows pull in and point back. Good. Inhale. Begin to roll your shoulders away. Keep your hands where they are. Point those elbows back. Come into a cobra pose. You might come up a little bit higher, but keep your elbows bent while your heart presses forward. Good. Tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips back towards your heels. And then lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Now let's inhale. Take our right leg high to the sky. Reach your right leg all the way up. Flex your foot. And then we're going to begin to bend our right knee. Roll your right knee back. Good. So you want to feel that nice opening through the quadricep and inner thigh. Press through those palms. Deep breath. Reach that right knee up. And as you exhale, begin to hug your right knee towards your chest. As you pull up and in, you're kind of shifting forward through a high plank with your right knee towards your chest. Now place your right foot all the way up to the top. If you need to pick it up and put it there, that's totally fine. Lower your back knee down. Take a slight tuck of your tailbone, ground through your right foot. As you inhale, reach your arms high to the sky into a low lunge. Slight tuck with your tailbone, lift through your heart, shoulders back. So you really want to tuck that tailbone up and in as you press in towards your right foot. This is mostly a psoas stretch for your left psoas. That's that part right in front of your left hip. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Now as you exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, baby back bend. Try to look up towards the sky, squeeze through your shoulder blades. Good, inhale, reach your arms back high. Now as you exhale, if you have those blocks handy, take them to frame your right shin. Begin to shift your hips back. You might need to scoot your right heel forward, flex your right foot. Square your hips off, shoulders back. So you could stay right here. You feel a nice deep stretch in that right hamstring. Take a breath in, lengthen your heart. Maybe you want to lower the blocks and get a little bit deeper. Or if you don't have blocks at all, maybe your hands are tented down on the earth, or you're folding in. Wherever you are, just notice that these props are just here to keep your spine aligned properly and to allow you to work deeper into the pose. Even though it looks like a crutch, it actually can put a deeper stretch. So take another big breath here. Exhale, release. Good, let's take an inhale. Shift forward into a low lunge. You can remove the blocks to the side, tuck your back toes. Send your right leg all the way up to the sky through downward dog, reach it up high. And exhale, lower it down. Let's switch sides. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open, reach that left knee up, open out through those hips. And then as you exhale, begin to hug your left knee towards your chest. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. And then begin to step your left foot all the way up to the top of the mat. If you have to pick it up and put it there, that's fine. Lower your back knee, ground through your left foot. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Good, take a slight tuck of that tailbone. So you should feel that stretch deep in your right hip. Good, inhale, lift up through your heart. Shoulders square off forward. Ground through that left foot. Now as you exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, lift through your heart, baby back bend. Inhale, lift your arms back up towards the sky. Now as you exhale, if you have those props and want to use them, take them to the sides of your shin. Either side, frame it. Shift your hips back, flex your left foot. We're coming into our half splits. Good, so lift your heart, use those props to allow your spine to lengthen. I've been doing yoga for a long time, and even when I'm using these props, I still feel a difference. I still feel a different stretch. So even if you're not a beginner, I encourage you to try out using props and notice how it changes the posture for you. Where do you feel the pose? What differences does it make? Take another full breath here. Lift through your heart, shoulders back. Exhale out. On your next inhale, remove the blocks. Shift forward into your low lunge with your hands down. Tuck your back toes. Send your left leg all the way up to the sky. Reach it up high. And lower your left foot down to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Now look to the top of your mat. Inhale. And begin to tiptoe your feet until they come all the way to the outsides of your hands. We're going to come into our yogi squat. So for our yogi squat, you want your toes to turn out slightly, and you want them about on the outer edges of your mat. Begin to bend your knees. Let them track over your toes. Lower your hips. So you can even use your block here. I have kind of small blocks. So I would lift it up to the higher one and sit down on that block. If your hips don't want to lower very low today, you can use your prop in that way. But if you're not, either way, your hands will come to heart center. Elbows, press your knees away from one another. So in our yogi squat, Malasana squat, we're opening our hips just as much as our shoulders. So as you open through your hips, your shoulders are rolling back, crown of the head to the sky. Remember that alignment of the spine when we were sitting in the beginning of class? Replicate that here. So our tailbone points down, crown of the head to the sky, heart forward. Feel those hips opening out and remember to breathe. Let's take another 2 breaths. Inhale in, just sit in the posture. Feel the posture. Last full breath in. And exhale out. Nice job. Let's take our hands down to the earth or a block. Turn your toes in, heels out, hips high. Relax your head and neck. Inhale, lengthen up, halfway up, lift. And exhale, plant your palms. Begin to step your feet all the way back into high plank pose. So you can choose to take half or full chaturanga here. So if you did half chaturanga, that's knees are lowered like we did before. Full chaturanga is high plank. Take an inhale in. Exhale, lower. Elbows point straight back. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. So we're going to come into upward dog this time. Lengthen your arms, lift your thighs, tops of the feet root, shoulders back. Heart presses forward. Inhale. And exhale, hips high to the sky, roll over your toes, pull up and in through your belly, press those hips high. Nice job. Good, so let's inhale, take our right leg all the way up to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Now as you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest and place your right foot to the outside of your right hand this time. So you want your hands to be on the inside of your right foot. So you can take your blocks there as well, or your props, whatever you have. Gently begin to lower your back knee. Good. So you want your right toes to point forward and your knee to track over your toes. This is getting really deep in your hips, so you can always stay with your blocks, like I have them here, on any level. Hands on the blocks. Hands can also be on the earth. If your hands are on the earth and you actually want more through the hip, you can still use those blocks as you come down onto your forearms. Good. So if your knee does start to open out, turn your toes to the right with your knee. So you always want that knee to track over the toes. Again, make sure your ankle's right under the knee as well. So if it's back towards your hip, just pull it forward, adjust. Good. Yoga is mostly about observing the self and how we react to the world around us. And breathing through these postures and being able to see ourselves without actually seeing ourselves is part of that practice. Good, so if you're still here, take an inhale, come on up. Walk yourself up. We're gonna move these blocks to the side or forward, just so that you can heel toe your right foot to the center of your mat. Shift your hips back, flex your right foot. Again, you can grab your blocks, but we're just gonna take one to the inside of your right shin. Left hand down to the earth or on your block. Right arm to the sky. So it's like our half splits, but we're twisting open to the right. Roll your right shoulder back, drop your right hip down. So you can even take your right hand to your right hip. Press it down. Stay right here or reach your right arm back up to the sky. You should feel a deep stretch in your piriformis. One more big breath, roll that right shoulder back. And exhale, lower your right hand down, shift forward, remove your block, tuck your back toes, send your right leg all the way up to the sky through downward facing dog, reach it high. And lower your right foot down, downward dog. Let's move on to that left side. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack open through your hips. Now as you exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Your hands can be on blocks on the inside of that left foot. Make sure your ankle's right underneath your knee as you lower your right knee down. So your hands can stay right here on blocks through the middle. So you should feel this pretty deep in your hips already. If you want to go further, maybe you remove the blocks and have your hands just on the earth. If you go on even deeper than that, maybe you come onto your forearms, on the blocks or on the earth even. Now remember, if that knee does open out, be sure to turn the toes with it. You always want your knee to track over the line of the toes. Deep breath here, so remember, inhale in through the nose and out through the nose during our practice. In through the nose and out through the nose. Become an observer of your own body, of your own mind. One more big breath in. And big breath out. Nice job. Let's come up onto our hands if you're not already. And just move those blocks with you or to the side as you heel toe your left foot to the center of your mat. Shift your hips back, flex your left foot. We're gonna come into our twist with our half splits. So take that block to the inside of your left shin, right hand to the block. Keep flexing that right foot. You can take that left hand to the left hip, press your hip down, and eventually left arm to the sky, twist open to the left, roll that left shoulder back. Feel that deep stretch in the outer left hip. So remember, this right block can be at any height or your prop. Get as much as you need out of that prop. Roll your left shoulder back, one more inhale. And exhale, lower left hand down. Let's shift forward, tuck your back toes, remove your blocks. Left leg to the sky, reach it up high. And lower left foot down to meet the right. Inhale in. And exhale, take your knees down to the earth. Shift your hips back towards your heels. Shift your hips to either side. Take your legs out long in front of you. Flex your feet. Remove the flesh from underneath your sits bones. So you really want to ground down, wiggle side to side, flex those feet. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Now as you exhale, begin to hinge forward. So just hinge in a straight line. So your biceps stay by your ears, your heart reaches towards your toes. This might be as far as you go, and if that's the case, maybe you just take those blocks by your side as you keep pressing your heart towards your toes. So you really want to lead through your heart. So that just means press your chest forward instead of your head. So you want that chest to press forward towards your toes, flex through your feet. And you might be right here. Maybe you can maintain that posture of the heart pressing forward and you let your arms come by your sides. Maybe you grab onto your feet and use them as leverage. Wherever you are, lead through your heart, inhale. And exhale, melt a little closer to those legs. Inhale, lift up through the heart. And exhale, pull closer towards the toes, even if it's just subtle. Nice job. Now let's inhale, rise back up, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands by your sides. Scoot your hips all the way forward, soles of the feet together, a butterfly pose. So let's take our hands around our feet, interlace, roll your shoulders down and away, lift up through your heart. And as you exhale, again, same thing, hinge forward, heart leads the way. Elbows press your shins away. And just imagine a nice melting sensation through your inner hip, inner thigh. Big breath in. And big breath out. Good, inhale back up. Reach your arms forward. Use your core. Keep your legs exactly as they are. Try to keep those heels grounded down. So press down into your heels. Pull in through your belly. Use your core to slowly take you down towards the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae. Okay, let your knees open out, soles of the feet together. Take a big breath in. Let it go. Let's close those knees together. We're going to come to pigeon on our backs. Extend your right leg high to the sky, flex your right foot. Take your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Press your right knee away. You might stay right here, or if you want more through that hip, thread the needle. Take your hands through, interlace around your left hamstring. Keep your right foot flexed. Pull that left knee towards your chest. Relax your shoulders down. Good. Gently release. We'll switch sides. Right leg to the sky. Right foot down. Left leg to the sky. Left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Press your left knee away. You might stay here or thread the needle. Hands come through to interlace around that right hamstring. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Nice job. Gently release that right foot down. Left leg to the sky. Lower your left foot down. Now let's hug both knees in towards our chest. Give them a squeeze. And as you exhale, take your arms out like a T on either side. If you have a small space, you can even cactus the arms. Just bend both elbows. And just let your knees drop to the left. Gaze to the right. Simple twist. Breathe deep into your belly. And exhale out. Good. Use your core. Lift your knees back through center. Maybe adjust your hips, scoot them back through the middle, and then let your knees drop in the opposite direction. Gaze to the left. You should feel a nice twist through the spine, big belly breath. And exhale it out. Good. Inhale back through center, lift up. This time we're just gonna wrap our forearms around our knees, forehead towards our knees. Take a big breath in, squeeze. And exhale, release the legs, release the arms, palms face up, close your eyes. Shavasana, one of Bradley, the dog here's favorite pose. Or you just let go. Close your eyes. Release all control. And let the thoughts flow freely in and out. Now, if you have the gift of time, please stay in Shavasana as long as you would need or like. This is your meditation for the day, so take as much as you need or can. If you do need to move about with your day, remember, keep your eyes closed. Move slowly and softly. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Begin to make your way onto your right side of your body. Roll off into a fetal position. Use your hands as eyes to crawl yourself up. Eventually coming into a nice, easy seated position in your own time and in your own way. Once you do make it into a nice, easy seat, join me with your hands at heart center. Close your eyes and just take a moment to reflect upon your practice today, whether this was the first yoga class you've ever taken or the 100th or more. Just notice any differences. Notice how you feel. Notice new awareness. And let's honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you did, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I go live about 3 times a week, so you can see when I go live here on the channel. You can set a reminder. You can also leave me a comment on anything that you would like to see in class, or even link up with me on Instagram at Katie Marie Yoga. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. you.